So we're going to real quick go into things we see that beginners do day in and day out. They receive a board from the rental shop. It's got a runaway strap on it. It almost looks like a luggage strap. Ted just put it over his shoulder to carry it outside. Very cool. And then they put their board down and they decide to put it on. But all they do is step into one binding, step into the other binding, and they leave the strap exactly where it is right now. That's a gym shoe lace in a gym waiting to catch you on a full court press as you go on your face with the cord. So it doesn't go there. It's meant to be like a dog leash. Ted will unsnap it right now and squeeze it. It's kind of a tight one. That goes around the rider's front leg, and it snaps around the leg like a leash for a dog. So Ted will step in real quick. He'll hold the little buckle close to his leg. Get out of the way.
Okay.
Get over here. And he then puts the leash around his leg and straps everything up. Okay, so that's how that's all done without a dog.
And what you should know is if you sit down to put this thing on, very much put that leash on first.
Yeah.
So you can't kick the board away or the board can't run away.
Continuing with the things that we see people constantly do wrong, day in and day out when they go out to ride. First, the leash was a problem. Second, everybody that's learning to snowboard sets down to put their board on. Sets down to put the board on. So once you set down, you have another problem after. You got to get up. So I watched a girl the other day walk out, throw her board down in front of her on the downhill side, which we don't do. We put the board down on the uphill side, meaning that we're on the downhill side, meaning that we're looking up the mountain. So the board is in front of our feet, so it doesn't slide away while we hold that leash and put that front foot in. From there, we can kick it in and secure that edge, that heel edge against the snow, and that will allow us to put our other foot in while standing and never set down. But the girl did exactly the opposite. She put it in front of her, put her foot in, then she kneeled down to set down because she had to get her other foot in, put her other foot in, and then had to roll over to get up. So 3 moves in order to get her board on to get started. It took her about 10 minutes instead of 2 minutes to put it on and get ready to go, and used 5 times the amount of energy going through all of these body motions to get started. So that's a big time problem for people. So what are your 2 options standing? You have 2 options standing. One, face uphill and what?
Uphill.
And do what?
And hold on to your leash, dig the board in, and stand on it.
So when you say dig it in, you're going to chop it heavily
chop it in.
Into things. So you build a bank behind it.
I had one of my instructors called it build a ledge.
Right, build a ledge.
And what you just described to this woman, Jim described that yesterday on the phone to me, and my head exploded because I'm trying to imagine what's happening. And it's really it's very easy to get in and out of that board.
Yep. So your other option, if you dug the heel in, would be to do what? How about kicking the toe in?
Yeah.
So if you're comfortable looking downhill now, instead of uphill, you can kick in.
I would be stomping on the heel.
But you could kick in the toe.
You could kick in the toe.
And build a ledge in front of you so that you don't slide while putting your rear foot in.
Yeah.
So you have a couple of options there. Or you can find a bench and sit down and do it.
Right.
If they provide one.
Essentially, you're trying to get that board flat with an edge in, because edges grip, so
you don't slide.
While
getting it on.
And if you're on flat terrain, it's not sliding.
All right.
It's just you balancing yourself to step into it. But even, okay, but, and other than that, no, you dig an edge in so something's holding you.
Okay, so what percentage of riders ride down the mountain on their back leg?
Ooh, a very high percentage.
Very high percentage. So those of you who have not been doing a lot of riding yet will find that you probably will do that. Fear puts you back on your back leg.
Yes.
Lack of knowledge will put you back on your back leg. And never bending on a skateboard and having it shoot out from under you where it puts it on your back leg, if you haven't experienced it, you will experience it on a snowboard. Because the hill is running down, but you as a person are leaning back because you don't like everything that's happening in front of you.
And there goes the snowboard up in the air.
And there goes the snowboard. So that is another number one problem. And then from there, and we talked about it in our reference thing, what's the next thing that snowboarders do in order to make a turn?
Engaging the wrong piece. Engaging the wrong piece. The board starts on the ground. You start with your feet. The feet need to move the way they need to move. The ankles need to move. The knees need to move, and the hips need to move. I haven't mentioned anything else yet. And then you're going to get into your upper body.
Right.
So if I go and reach over here with my upper body because we're on this...
His feet didn't move.
That's okay. But if I'm on a snowboard and I want my board to move, my feet didn't move. And I want my board to move because I want to steer it, this isn't doing anything.
That's allowing you to see where you intend to go, or want to go, or hope to go, but it isn't doing anything to tell the snowboard, let's go there.
Yeah, and it's probably unbalancing me.
Right.
Because...
Taking you out of reference.
Because center of mass should stay over base of support.
Right.
And this is not over my base, so bingo. The next thing is to fall.
The other thing that everybody struggles with going ahead is they get static with the center of mass.
Right. You think you can hold a position.
They hold a position. What happens when you hold a position on a snowboard, either fore or aft? Fore or aft. Holding a position.
The environment changes underneath you because you're moving.
Well,
and you're not doing the same thing if you're static back here and you try to take it forward.
But moving forward will be putting you in a nose press position with no weight on your back foot and causing you to spin around the front foot. That'd be a nose press.
Right.
If you lean way back and put all your weight on your back foot, that's a tail press.
Right.
Those are cool tricks, but when you're starting out, those tricks will not help you turn the snowboard. So what do people do instead? They basically stay kind of centered, but then they take the back foot and do what with it?
Kick it.
And meaning that they're sweeping with it.
Kick it in and out.
And how you'll know you're a back foot rider is if you go down the mountain and you're heading that way, and the only thing that moves to the left and the right is the back of the board, while that part continues to point that way, then you definitely belong over in Italy, in Venice, on a canal with a big paddle, or a canoe where you're steering from the rear because you're doing nothing with the front. So there's no other easier way to say that than to say, stay in reference, be aligned to the board, learn how the board performance and the side cut help that board turn right and left, etc. Now, if you're older and you're thinking about snowboarding, you are so set in your ways for following your nose and your chest and where it goes, take a little time, walk around your house, 5 minutes a day. Walk around sideways with your left foot leading
or right
everywhere you go, and then take 5 more minutes and walk around everywhere you go with your right foot leading, meaning you're just shuffle stepping, you're not stepping around. Get used to that because you are entering a world of sideways. And the older you are, the more difficult that will be for you to break the habit of traveling forward where you are looking with your body. You will only look with your head, and the older you get, you may not turn your head as far. I know that because my neck is kind of fused, So in order for me to see, I do have to kind of roll my shoulders.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't see these people over here at all.
Right.
And on a snowboard, that can be a bad thing. So
You don't
we'll come
wanna
into
see it.
that later on how to ride defensively and offensively on a snowboard on a crowded day. Pretty important. So we're going to sign out on that and call it Shred Ahead. And
Ahead.
hope you guys will get something out of these videos. So anything to add?
Snow is coming.
Snow is
We've
coming.
got a dozen days up already, and we're just looking for more.
Yep. We had a full yard of snow yesterday, shoveled the day before, and today the grass is green. But we don't care because as long as it's up high, we know where to find it. So we'll hopefully see you later. Shred Ahead.